guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 9 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day are Ken Wong and Holly Noel. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. And I also want to wish everyone a happy Pie Day. Okay, I'm so tired. The time change. Time change really takes it out of you, doesn't it? But anyway, when we left off yesterday, this is such a big update too, oh my god. When we left off yesterday, the house guests were waiting for the Power Veto competition. We've got Latoya and Kiefer up on the block, and Victoria's been telling the other side that Kiefer is her target, but it's actually Latoya. So, before the competition, Victoria agreed with her allies that Beth would possibly be the replacement nominee if necessary. Beth or Ty his name was even being thrown around. Victoria's not effing around here, okay? I'm worried for her, though, because she's been promising everybody safety. She's been promising everyone the world. But she is ready to do whatever the hell she wants to do. It is very entertaining to watch. But I'm nervous for her. So just a clarification too, the Oddballs Alliance that has formed in the last few days, that actually does include Tina and Tara as well. They are using the name The Oddballs. So that is a group of 7. Tina and Tara, Austin, Brayden, Kyle, Rowe, and Victoria. Okay, and of course we know Tina and Tara are pretty much in the middle of the house, you know, they're involved with both sides. Okay, so the feeds were down for several hours yesterday for the Power Veto competition. The host was Tara, and the players were the 2 nominees, Latoya and Kiefer, plus 3 extras, Jed, Ty, and Austin. So it sounds like it might have been the BB crossword puzzle competition from season 7. And we find out that Jed won the Power Veto. The house guests were saying that he beasted it. Like, he really dominated that one. And now that Judd won the Power Veto, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Okay, Victoria is not pleased with this Power Veto outcome because she wants Latoya to go. And before the competition, Jed and Ty were asking if they could use the Power Veto on Latoya if either one of them won. And Victoria said yes. And she also swore on her loved ones that she would not put up Jed or Ty as the replacement nominee. But now, Victoria's talking game with some of her allies, Kyle, Austin, and Brayden. I believe they were in the kitchen at the time. And she said, if Jed uses that veto, I'm putting Ty up as the replacement. Oh my god! She's going to tell Jed ahead of time to try and keep him from using it. She's going to be like, yo, keep him the same or Ty's going up on the block. So she says she is making a big move this week, no matter what. Latoya or Ty are going home. And she says there's not going to be a vote flip this week. Not on my watch. Because she said she's been telling everybody, I want Latoya up on the block because I really want Kiefer out, and, you know, I want to make sure that Latoya doesn't try and flip the vote to keep him, but, like, she actually wants Latoya out. And then if Latoya does come off the block, she wants to make sure that Ty is going to go because she wants to break up that trio of Latoya, Jed, and Ty, and she knows that this is the way to do it. So, yeah, Victoria says, I just want to be remembered for making a big move, and I also would like to make it a jury. She's telling everybody she doesn't want to win, but, like, do people really mean that when they say it? They can't, right? Anyway, this is an absolutely wild move, but it is so exciting and refreshing, honestly, to watch, because usually, especially this early in the game, people are so afraid to make any waves, so they make, like, the most boring moves ever. But, like, we got some excitement going here. This season is really delivering so far. All right, meanwhile, the Sunsetters are trying to figure out their next move. You know, Jed's got the POV now, so what's next? So Kiefer and Tina were talking in the OLG room, and Tina knows that Beth or Ty could be going up as replacement nominee, but she is keeping that to herself. Okay? So Kiefer says he's pretty sure that Jed will be using the power veto on Latoya. Yeah. And he's saying, like, I really hope that the replacement nominee is not going to be you, Tina, Tara, or Beth. He doesn't want to be up against any of them. So Kiefer is thinking it's probably going to be Tara, Brayden, Kyle, or Rohan. What? Have you been paying attention this week at all? Have you seen who's been hanging out in the HOH room with Victoria all week? The last few days? I feel like the Sunsetters have been so caught up in their own drama and that, like, failed flip that they're, like, completely missing out on what's really going on here now. So Kiefer says that Ty and Jed seem pretty confident that they can pull Victoria in and hopefully get a non-Sunsetter up on the block with him. So Latoya joins them, and she's also still hoping that Victoria will put up someone from the other side. I mean, ideally, they want to see Kyle go up on the block. That's what Jed is going to try and do. He's going to tell Victoria, look, putting up Tara as a replacement nominee is not a big move. You got to put up somebody like Kyle. Ooh, you got a big storm coming. She's not afraid to make a big move, and it's not going to be Kyle. So then Latoya is like, wait a second. She's wondering, what if Victoria, like, threatens to put up Ty if the power veto is used? Imagine that. So that is what Victoria is planning. But they agreed that would be really messed up because they know that Victoria, like, swore on her family that she wouldn't put Ty or Jed up on the block this week. This is Big Brother, though, you know? You can bounce checks. So Jed and Tara chat in the Expedia room. They've since worked out their issues. You know, they had that drama before. But they're okay now. They're talking now. And they're schmoozing, whatever. Smoozing? It sounds so weird. Schmoozing? Whatever. So Jed confirms that he is planning on using the power veto on Latoya. And Tara's like, oh, I keep hearing that either I or Brayden could go up as the replacement nominee. But Victoria's a wild card, so you never know what could actually happen. Tara knows that she's safe. She knows she's not going up this week because she is now in an alliance with Victoria. So Tara asks, how would you feel if Victoria put Ty up on the block as the replacement? And Jed says, I'd feel really betrayed because Victoria swore that she wouldn't put us up this week. You know, I think that would really blow up in her face. So Tara's like, well, I don't think she would do it, but again, wild card, you never know. So then they kind of talk about potentially working together moving forward, which is like a huge 180 from where their relationship was at the other day. But Jed is trying to pull Tara in with the Sunsetters. Not to be like an official member, but to be like the 7th in that group of 6. So after, Tara was talking to the cameras, and she was like, you know what? I actually kind of like Jed. I might want to work with him moving forward. Imagine that. So then, Victoria and Jed talked briefly last night, and they just agreed that they're going to wait until tomorrow, meaning today, Sunday, to talk about the power veto. Don't worry, we're going to talk about it. So, okay, that was last night. This morning, Jed, Ty, and Beth, the throuple, were chatting in the Destiny bedroom. They're not so much like a showman's throuple anymore because Beth is definitely sticking with Ty showman's-wise. I think the smooching between Jed and Beth has pretty much stopped now because apparently there's some wild stuff going on between Ty and Beth, like, every single night now, and it's, like, waking people up. So anyway, Jed was telling them about a conversation that he had with Austin last night, and he was, like, asking her which side she's on, and of course she's saying, like, I'm not on either side, and he basically told her, you're on the wrong side. And he's like, I'm not targeting you, but I am targeting some of the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and if you're gonna, you know, continue to be around them, it's really gonna leave me no choice. Yikes! But Jed says he's not worried about beating around the bush at this point because the lines are drawn now. So Jed is also telling them about his conversation with Tara. he says that they have her. You know, she's going to vote with us. She doesn't want Kiefer or Latoya to go. So if we can get a non-sunsetter up on the block, she will vote with us. But let's not forget, Tara is actually playing the middle with Tina. So who knows what they're going to do this week. But they talk about Jed's upcoming conversation with Victoria about the POV. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to offer her some protection for next week. And they're planning on sticking with that. They wouldn't go after her. But Ty's like, I don't know, man. I'm getting kind of a weird vibe off of Victoria. She's not the same person that she was last week. And they agree. Well, maybe that's because she actually has allies now that are officially working with her. But they agree something is off here. So we'll come back to that. But Tina and Tara game chat while they were walking the yard. This has become like a daily tradition that these two walk around the house together to get some steps in. So Tara says, we need to stay in the middle for now. You know, let those guys, Kyle, Ro, Jed, and Ty, all take each other out. We don't have to worry about that. Tara says, I don't care what everybody does this week, as long as it's not the two of us, Kiefer, or Latoya going. Because they've kind of got their own thing working right now, unofficially. So Tina agrees with all this. She's like, yeah, it would be good for us if Ty or Beth went this week. But they're just not sure if Victoria would actually go through with it. So Tara says the oddballs have numbers right now, and the other side needs us more than we need them. You know, they keep trying to have conversations with us now that they need us. And Tara feels like the teams are still a thing right now. It's just, you know, everybody's been shuffled up because of how the house is split. And she says it feels like our team captains now are Jed for the, like, Sunsetters side and Kyle for the oddballs. And, they were talking about how they don't really fully trust either of those team leaders, but they do trust some people from each side. So they're truly, like, in the middle right now. So then a little later, Victoria and Beth, oh my god, this is where it starts getting wild. Victoria and Beth were chatting in the bathroom, just talking about the power of veto and how the guys need to talk to Victoria so they can figure out what's going to happen. And Beth says it's pretty much a given that Jed wants to take somebody down with the power of veto. So Victoria says, we'll see if that's what he wants to do when I'm done talking to him. Oh my god! Victoria's so entertaining. But then Beth's response was just, like, hilarious, because Beth goes, I know. Wait, what does that mean? Oh my god, you're such a badass. It makes me nervous. Like, she was back and forth a bunch in that one statement. I think she's internally panicking, like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. What is Victoria talking about? What is she planning on doing? So Victoria's like, I don't want Jed to use the veto. You know, I put these people up on the block for a reason, and I cannot risk there being a flip this week. She says, I want Kiefer to go. That's a lie. And she says, I'd have to, if the veto is used, I'd have to put up somebody that I know Latoya would not try and flip the vote on. Not many options there. So Beth says, the boys really need to talk to you then. And Victoria's like, yeah. She tells Beth, you're good this week. Austin's good this week. Like, we're good this week. But the boys need to come talk to me. So a little later, Beth relays this conversation to Jed, and she's just like, it's bad. Jed is like, he knows what that means. He's like, if she puts up Ty and Beth finishes the statement here, we're done. Beth is telling Jed, you need to tell Victoria if she puts up Ty that we will both cut her off, and Ty won't even go home, so he will cut her off as well. So she's trying to tell Jed to get Ro up on the block as the replacement nominee. Good luck with that. So after this conversation, Jed goes straight to Ty, tells him about the Beth and Victoria conversation. He's like, we gotta go talk to Victoria because there's some crazy stuff going on here. And it was funny because at the time, Victoria was already in her HOH room, like, practicing what she was gonna say to them. And she was, like, holding on to her stuffed dog that she got in her basket for moral support. So here we go. It's go time. Jed and Ty. I can never say both of their names. Jed and Ty are in the HOH room with Victoria. And Victoria says, hey guys, this is not going to be a good talk. She says, I have a problem with some of the stuff that you guys have been saying lately about me. You're throwing around the words comp beast. You've been saying I'm such a smart player and making such smart moves. And that's really putting a target on me. So she's saying, I want to stick with what I said in my speech this week. I don't want any vote flipping happening. My family is watching this and I will not have a flipped vote on my HOH. Okay. And she says if Latoya comes off the block, there's only one person that I can put up that will guarantee that she will not try and flip the vote. And I'm sorry, but Ty, it's you. Yeah. So then she says to Jed, I'm hoping that you won't use the power of veto because I want Kiefer out this week. That's a lie. And she says, I already have the votes lined up to take out Kiefer if he's up on the block against Latoya. And she says, I'm worried if I have to put up Ty, people might vote him out. They might want to split you two up since you're such a strong duo. So I really don't want to have to do that. So then Jed brings up the promise that she made. She swore on her family that she wasn't going to nominate either of them. And Victoria says, this is Big Brother. Got to do what I got to do. Whoa. Very exciting to watch. So Victoria says something about this alliance that she wanted to create. She was like, me and who I'm going to call this person Player A. Me and Player A want to work with you two and Latoya, but we feel like we've kind of been boxed out because the three of you are so tight. So she's still saying that she wants this alliance of 5 to happen, but she cannot trust Latoya right now to not try and flip this vote, so that's why she's up on the block. So Ty is like, what if Latoya promises not to flip the vote? Victoria's like, no, I can't trust that. She told me she wasn't going to try and flip the vote last week. Look what she did. Even after we had already decided that we were going to get rid of Josh, she still tried to come to me like 20 minutes before the vote and get me to flip, and I'm not doing that anymore. So Victoria also brings up how Latoya never talks game with her. She tried to get something going with them, and they never came back to her to solidify it. So what is she supposed to do with that? So Jed says, I respect you, I respect your game, but I don't respect you threatening to put up Ty after you swore on your family that you would not. So Ty says, yeah, it kind of feels like you're coming for me right now. And Victoria's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to put you up. I don't want to have to do that. She asks Jed again not to use the power veto this week. So then Jed's like, would you rather work with us or with the other side? Were you silent or were you silenced? Victoria says, I've tried to work with you guys. And I'm not going to put somebody up from the other side and risk Latoya flipping the vote this week. I'm not going to do it. So, the guys are like, well, what if Kyle flips the vote on Latoya? That's what Victoria wants. But Victoria says, no, I have the votes. I feel like I can trust these people to do what they say that they're going to do. Again, Latoya is her real target. That is what she wants. So, Victoria says, after a while, they're going back and forth about this for a while, but eventually Victoria says if Jed still does decide to use the power veto, she's going to have to put up Player A. So Jed asks, is Player A Beth? And Victoria confirms, yes, it is. So Jed is like, well, I'm starting to think that you're working in a group of 5 with Austin, Brayden, Ro, and Kyle. And Victoria's like, no, they just come in my HOH room because they want to listen to the iPod. So she's like, no, it's ridiculous. I'm not working with them. So then Jed is like, all right, so you're telling me if we do what you want and we don't use the veto, you're promising us that you will work with us moving forward with us, Latoya, and Beth as a 5. And you're not going to flip on that. And Victoria says, yes. No. So Jed says, oh wait, sorry, I just want to say again too, this conversation goes on for a long time. It was a very long conversation, but these are just the important points. So towards the end, Jed is like, we respect you, we want to work with you moving forward, And Victoria's like, yeah, I'm straightforward. Like, I'm not going to flip on this. I've smoked too much weed to lie. My brain can't handle it. She's too much. So blah, 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 blah. The conversation eventually ends with hugs. Okay. So she stood her ground. She said, no, Victoria needs to stay up on the block. Or not Victoria. Latoya needs to stay up on the block or else I'm going to have to put up Beth or Ty. So do what you will with that. So after the conversation was over, Victoria is celebrating in the HOH room. She feels like it was a good discussion. And then Ty and Jed go to chat in the Expedia room. So they're wondering, what the hell do we do now? And they're thinking, okay, should we do this? Should we go to her and expose the Sunsetters Alliance and try and intimidate her with the numbers? This is something that they have been talking about for a few days now. And being like, we've got all these people, and if you put up Ty or Beth, like, we're all going to come after you. I feel like that's not going to work. She's not going to be happy about that. So Jed says, finally, like, I'm not going to use the power veto. I don't think it's smart to do it now. It's not worth the risk of Ty potentially going home. And they don't think that Latoya is going to go home if she stays up on the block. I don't know, man. It seems like the vote would come down to Tina and Tara this week because they're in the middle. But let's not forget, they're also really close to Kiefer. You know, they want to get a 4 going with Kiefer and Latoya. So now they could possibly have to pick between the two of them. I don't know which way they're going to end up going. But Jed and Ty agreed, like, all of Victoria's arguments were pretty airtight. Like, she's really freaking good at this. And they don't know 100% that Latoya is her target this week, but, like, all the reasons that she is giving to them are making sense. So after all that, the conversation is retold to both sides of the house. Everybody's pretty aware now of what's going on the surface level. And then at one point, Latoya was talking to Jed in the bathroom, and she says, you know, I get what Victoria was saying, but I feel like she's on a power trip right now. And she says, if we don't take me off the block, Victoria's gonna look so powerful and like we're just her bitches, you know? So if Kiefer does have to go, Latoya says, I would rather see him leave against Ty than against me. Of course she's gonna say that. She doesn't want to stay up on the block. I'm sure Latoya suspects she might actually be the target this week. So Jed is like, I don't think that's a good idea. People might vote Ty out. He thinks that Latoya has more of a chance of being safe on the block. So then they were talking about how they feel Victoria has effed up her whole game with this move for Kyle, you know, doing what Kyle wants. This is what Victoria wants, though. And they agree they're going to put her up if they win HOH next week. Whew, so that's where we're at right now. We'll see what happens. The power veto ceremony should be tomorrow. And at this point, it looks like Jed will not use it, but who knows what other conversations will be happening throughout the day today. We shall see. It's going to be an interesting week. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. And until tomorrow, much love.